Society is collapsing. Western culture has been demonized. And getting married and having a family is radical. And as we sit here idle, the enemy sets up siege. Because we have lost the appetite and courage to respond accordingly. We have relinquished the duties that made liberty possible. The books we decide to read hold the answers and will allow us to understand where we are and where we may be heading. Buckle up, because we have a lot of work to do.
Maybe you got lost somewhere, swimming too far off the beach, off the coastline.
Greetings everyone, and welcome to The Cause. My name is Rob, and I have some exciting news to share. New directions, new plans, and a new lease on life. There is one big change in my life that I can't quite get into in this video. Let's just say we're going to be spending a lot more time together, but I will discuss that in a future video. What I want to discuss in this video is a new themed reading series. We're going to be reading through 8 books that encompass a certain theme. I will create a video for each one of these 8 books, and the videos will keep our single theme in focus. So the first theme I'm going to be covering is how the demise of education and morality affects society and eventually leads to serfdom. The 8th book will focus as the book of restoration. How do we fix our republic and repair our society? With that being said, I will quickly roll through the 8 books that we will be covering in this themed reading series. Each book will be a reference to the episode in the series. The order is important to the theme, so the videos will be released in the order I mentioned them in. With that being said, the books are A Defense of Classical Education by Richard Livingston. Written in 1916 during World War I, the focus of this book is on understanding why classical education was important in the first place. Understanding the self, defining what is good and just. If you do not understand the Greek and Roman achievements and the weaknesses, then you will not understand the American founding. A classical education is the single best way to sustain a just civilization. A society not educated to think and judge correctly, with a standard set of agreed upon virtues, cannot sustain a democratic republic form of government. What happens when we move away from this form of education? That leads us to our second book, Weapons of Mass Instruction by John Taylor Gatto. This book shines a light on the undermining of classical education, a shift from developing the human soul to developing monetizable skills. It's a way to render the population manageable. It creates a dependent society. There's no critical thinking. A dividing of the classes, so to speak. It's a great book that sums up our current educational downfalls, and it leads us to some pretty scary situations. The third book we're going to be covering is The Republic by Plato, moving back to the beginning of ideas, so to speak. This is a very famous book, and it's a foundational text in philosophy and life. What would a more perfect society look like? What if all you have ever seen is just a shadow created to keep you from getting out of your box? A book filled with questions we should all consider. A book filled with consequences of what happens if we choose unwisely. This will lead us into The Social Contract by Rousseau. Although not the first to come up with this concept, he explains it very well. It's society's contract. It is your contract with the society around you, collective self-government. Man is free when he is governed by his own laws, stepping out of a state of nature, which is anarchy, and relinquishing some freedom and entering into a mutually agreed upon state of society, by choice. When we lose the understanding of this, we lose what we will discuss next. The 5th book is going to be The Abolition of Man by C.S. Lewis. What happens when we reject the foundation of which our moral values are rooted? How does this affect school's role in shaping character of the individual? How does the decay in morality affect the importance of truth? We become less human when we do not submit to moral law. We become less of a society when we can't agree upon what morality even is. When morality degenerates, liberty is sure to vanish, which leads us to our next scenario. The next book on the list is going to be Discourses on Voluntary Servitude by Antoine de la Bastille. I've always said if you don't know how to say the name, just say it with confidence. Published in 1577, it's almost sad how relevant it still is. This book is on how governments influence the populace, why people willingly submit to authority, and how we consent to our own enslavement. What leads to this? Tyrants are in power because society allows them to be. Are we headed in that direction, or have we already arrived? How do we turn it around? Number 7 is going to be The Road to Serfdom by Friedrich Hayek. Originally published in 1944, so literally in a time when concentration camps were active It is a book that describes the government's control of the economy and how it leads to totalitarianism. This leads to a loss of individual freedom. Government intervention in the market is our road to serfdom. The redistribution of wealth through nationalization and the idea of socialism. Regardless of how you feel about the topic, it's at least something we all should understand. And the 8th book, the last book, is The Political Theory of the American Founding by Thomas G. West. It sounds boring, but it's anything but. The American founders were aware of the issues and abuses which we just covered. This book explains the founders' theory to restore or create a republic for the people, by the people. The concept of natural rights and political wisdom. All of this is only achieved by a culture which shares a similar definition of what is moral, virtuous, and just. Citizens who are dedicated to the duties of citizenship required for liberty to exist. The founders took the Greeks' love for knowledge and understanding and coupled it with Rome's virtues and laws. Society has been fixed before. Was it perfect? No, but it was pretty dang close. We have been working on trying to improve it for the past 200 years, striving for a more perfect union. Sadly, we have stagnated. We've staggered. I dare say we have recoiled backwards from the blow of ignorance we have become sadly accustomed to. It is up to us to repair, fix, and rebuild. We have to start focusing on things that matter again, that truly matters. I will be creating a video on each of these 8 books and keeping our central theme in focus as we go through each one. The order matters, as you will see once we begin. I will tie the benefits and the consequences of each book with the next. They will become a single seamless story, shining a light on the issues we are currently facing, and give us a way to cultivate the solutions to our problems. I would honestly love if you would read through these books with me as we go through them, and then we can discuss them. I'm going to link the books in the description below in order that we're going to be going through them. I'm really excited about this project. I think it's going to be a good one. This is going to be fun. So this is going to be the first 8. Eventually, after we get through this theme set, I will do another themed 8 set. I think it's either going to be Christianity and Islam, or we're going to go into more of a American Revolution versus the French Revolution, why one was successful and one was not. I don't know which one yet. I may put it up for a vote and see what you would rather go through first. This should be a fun reading experience. I will still be putting out the Harvard Classic series. That's turned into a multi-year project at this point. I completely underestimated how long it was going to take me to get through these, but such is life. You don't always plan out things that well. With that being said, let the reading begin, and let's do our part in restoring our republic, or fixing the society we so cherish. Please like, comment, and share as it helps the algorithm push this content. Hit me up in the comments as I love to hear from you. My roasted coffee is linked in the description below. You can use the code THECAUSE for 15% off your first order. Read some amazing books, drink some amazing coffee, and I will see you very soon. Stay blessed.
All the dreams I locked up, I'll go and find it. It's good, good, good.